This video is to go over lesson 6.4 review packet 6a. So the first problem, look for the patterns. Let's see this one, complete this table. So this is 10 to the 0 power, 10 to the first power, 10 to the second power, and on the right we have 10 to the first, 10 to the second, 10 to the third. This is a little different multiplication table, but it's base 10, so it's 10 to the first, 10 to the second. So what would be 10 to the first power times 10 to the first power? That will be 10 to the second power, so you should put 10 to the second power over here. And what if you have, how about here? That's going to be 10 to the third times 10 to the second. So 10 to the third times 10 to the second is, we have 3 copies of 10 here and 2 copies of here. So in total we have 5 copies of that. So this should be 10 to the 5th power. How about here? It's going to be 10 to the 4th power times 10 to the 2nd power, 10 to the negative 2nd power. So that's going to be, we have 4 copies of 10, but we have negative 10 to the negative 2 copies of that. So we have 10 to the 4th power, so that's 10 to the times 10 times 10 times 4 copies of that. And 10 to the negative 2nd power will be fraction, so that's going to be denominator. So we have 2 copies under the bar, we have 2 copies of 10. Here we have, we can make 10 with these, I mean 1, because 10 divided by 10 is 1. So this is 1, and this is going to be 1. So 1 times 1 times 10 times 10. So this is 1 and this is 1, so we can kind of disregard that. So we have 10 to the 2nd power, therefore we have 10 to the 2nd power. Use that idea to complete this table. Now after that, I want you to compare what you have here to this table. There is similarities, and how are the tables similar, right? So let's explain that. Next problem, simplify the expression. Excuse me. So now we have 4x plus 5y minus 6z. Whatever that is, we have 0 power. Plus whatever that is, which is not 0, whatever that is, we have 0. What's the 0 power? This problem is awfully, no, not awfully, but very simple. If you can see this kind of complicated form as a chunk. Next problem. Write each expression as a single power of z. So let's do A. So the negative power is the power under the bar. So we have z to the negative 2nd times z to the 4th. So z to the negative 2nd power, that means we have 2 copies of z under the bar, and here we have 4 copies of z on top of the bar. And then we can regroup that, z over z times z over z times z times over 1 times z over 1. So here this is 1 and this is 1, looks like 2, but this is z, these are z's. Okay, so this is 1 and this is another one, so we have z over 1 times z over 1, which is z times z, which is the 2 copies of z. So that's the answer. Use that idea to solve the rest of the problem. And simplify this. So we have a to the 5th, b to the negative 3rd, times a to the 2nd times b times 0 times b to the 2nd over a to the negative 4th. This looks very complicated, I mean challenging, but it's actually very simple. Well, first of all, we're going to have to kind of regroup it a little bit. This guy doesn't belong here because this guy is supposed to be under the bar, and this guy doesn't belong here because this guy has negative power under the bar, So that's opposite of that. So this guy should be on top of the bar because it's, you know, you have negative. You cannot have negative under the bar. If you have negative power under the bar, that means this guy should be on top of the bar. This look at this as a chunk. Whatever this is to the 0 power is very simple. So regroup that and then make ones to cancel out so that it can be simplified.